Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Life with the Sanders. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And everybody else, welcome back. Thank you for coming back to watch another video. Also, make sure you like, share, and comment as well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my fertility journey or my infertility journey, my journey on conceiving my child. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're interested or if you're on the journey yourself, come on sis, watch. Like, we need the support. So come on, watch this video and let's get into it. All right. So my husband and I, we got married 5 years ago. Time really does fly by. 5 years ago. Long story about how we met, all of that, we'll do a whole nother video on the whole backstory. But let's get into our infertility journey. So when we got married, or even before we met, we talked about children, of course. My husband, he was like, he wanted 3 kids. And at the time, we were really young. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't think I want to have any children. But at the time we were just dating. So I was just like, okay, he wants 3, I want 0. Right, okay. But then we got married. So it was like, oh, okay, we made a decision to compromise, right? He wanted 3, I was like, nah. And so we decided to kind of be in the middle. It was like, okay, let's plan for 2 children. And that's what we plan to do. But we first got married, we just decided to enjoy the marriage, enjoy ourselves. We want to take the time out to really get to know each other as husband and wife, and just to travel and explore the world before we decided to have children. So during that time, I was on a form of birth control while we were preventing at the time. So I think maybe we prevented for like 2 years, and then after that, I don't know, something changed in me where it felt like I kind of grew like a hole in my heart, if I want to say. I don't know how to describe the feeling, but all of a sudden, like, I had this very, very strong desire to have a family and to be a mom. And I talked to my husband about it, and we was like, all right, let's get it started. So we decided to go ahead and to try to start having a baby. I think now looking back on it, I was kind of naive at the process of conceiving a child, because you just think, hey, you do, like say, like, you do the little baby dance, and then bam, you have a baby. And I really didn't think that it would be hard. I had no thought on thinking that it would be hard or take years for us to get pregnant. So in the beginning, months passed. I was not getting pregnant, like month after month. That cycle kept happening. Month after month, the cycle kept happening. So I eventually decided to go to my OB. I went to my OB. I talked to her about it. I'm like, hey, I'm in my 20s. My husband is in his 20s. Like, we young. We trying to have a baby. Like, we're not perfect health, but we weren't like, our health was good. And I was just like, and it's been months and it's not happening. And she was like, well, it's typical for it to take 6 months to a year to conceive a child. So once it's been a year, once y'all been trying for a year, come back, see me, we'll talk about it. I'm like, okay. So we kind of got like really serious about trying. Before, it was just like, we do, we'll see, we get pregnant. But after that, I started doing a lot of research on like trying to conceive, and really dug deep into tracking my fertility. And that included like tracking my ovulation, tracking my cycle, tracking my basal body temperature, like all the elements that go into conception pretty much. And one of the things that was really important was knowing when that fertile window was open so you can get it popping and you can have a baby. That's like the plan, and that repeats itself like every single month. So we have been doing that for a while. Next thing you know, it was a year, still no baby. So I go back to my OB and I'm like, hey, it's been a year, still no baby. What is happening? Actually, at this point, I think it had been like 2 years. I think it had been like 2 years and it was like still no baby. And she was just like, okay, let's do some tests. So pretty much she did like a full blood workup on me. And one of the things which I already knew, like I had hyperthyroidism, but I never knew how huge an effect that would have on my husband and I conceiving a child until, like, you know, I talked to my OB and my PCP about it. And yeah, those thyroids, like, huge factor. So because they have a lot to do with your hormones as well, and your hormones had a lot to do with you conceiving. So that was the number one thing. First, I had to try and get my thyroids kind of like in a healthy place. So I had to get on medication. I changed my diet. I started doing the paleo diet. And I just really started to focus on healing my body. And I just got into this mindset of preparing my body and wanting to create a space, a good, healthy space for my child to be like conceived within, you know, like to me, like my body was going to be her home, and I wanted that home to be a healthy, clean environment, I guess, so to speak, you know. So I started working on that. So I changed my diet. I started taking meds. I started taking vitamins and a lot of different supplements, which I will talk about in another video. I will detail all of the things that I did that helped me to conceive. So be on the lookout for that. But so I was doing all these things. Like I started going to the gym. I started losing weight. Like I was just so dedicated, like, and just trying to do everything that I thought that I should be doing to conceive a child. So then all of these tests start to come into play. And let me tell you, like, emotionally, like being on that journey was so hard. It was so harder than I thought it would be. Like just emotionally draining, and even just hard on you physically, because of course your body is involved. Oh my God, it affected me spiritually. I mean, it has an effect on your relationship, on your marriage. At least for me, it had an effect on my relationship, my marriage, because I don't want to say I got to the point where I was obsessed, but like it became kind of really stressful, and in turn it's like I'm stressing myself out trying to conceive a child, but stress can keep me from having a child. So it was just really hard. Like I would try so hard to relax, not to think about it, like just do me, but it was just always there. Like it was always on my mind, and if it wasn't on my mind, it was always in the back of my mind. And so we started doing all of these tests, and then all of these things start to come out, and it's just like, oh my God, there's so much more to this than I thought. So one of the tests, I found out that I was not ovulating. And for some reason, like when the doctor called and told me that was the result of one of the tests that she had done, it made me feel like it made me feel like broken. I'm like, what? I'm not ovulating. Like, I'm a woman. Like, I ovulate. I'm supposed to. And so it was like almost like I took it kind of personal. Like, how you gonna tell me? Like, you're pretty much telling me like my body as a woman is not cooperating properly. And that made me feel some type of way, to say the least. And after that, we found out I was not ovulating. I also had to get the HSG test done to just make sure all of my lady parts was working properly, that my fallopian tubes were like laid out the way they were supposed to be, and that there was no blockage going on. And I got that done, and those test results came back normal. Then my husband, he had to get his test done. He had to go and get a semen analysis, which was interesting to say the least, but he was like on board. Like, he was just as invested as I was. Like, I was not on this journey alone. Like, it was the two, like, this was our journey. This was the both of us. So he had to go get tests done as well, and his semen analysis came back normal. And at the time, like, he was like, I was happy, of course, that his test results came back normal, but in the moment, it's like, okay, so it's not you. That means it's me. And that's how I felt. I was like, it's not you, it's me. I'm the broken one. I'm the messed up one. It's my fault that we not having this baby right now. So test after test after test, still no baby, still doing all this tracking, and I mean, just everything. I'm telling you, everything, just 100,000% invested in trying to conceive a child, and still no child. So after that, my OB, we had another appointment, and she decided that I would start on Clomid. And Clomid is a medication that is supposed to help you ovulate when you're not ovulating. So I was just like, oh, okay, good. I was so excited when she told me, like, you take this medicine, you're gonna ovulate. High chances are that you will get pregnant. So I was so excited to start the medicine. So the first month we started it, no baby. I was so sad because I got all hyped up. Like, all I got to do is take this medicine, keep doing everything else that I'm doing, and surely it's going to happen, because the only issue is that I'm not ovulating, right? But no, it was not that easy. And let's not get into the side effects of the Clomid. Okay, so I took it again for the next cycle, and we still did not conceive. I took it again for my next cycle, and we still did not conceive. So I think I took Clomid for like maybe 3 to 4 cycles, and we did not conceive. So after the Clomid, went back to my OB, and at this point, it was pretty much like, okay, we done tried this, we've tried this, and we've tried that, and nothing has worked. So she was pretty much like, look, at this point, as your OBGYN, I've done everything that I can do. Like, within my scope, I've done everything that I can do. We did every test that we can do. And, like, I don't know. So at this point, she referred us to a fertility specialist, which it took a while for us to get that appointment, but I was really excited because I'm like, okay, I know now that I'll be seeing a doctor who specializes specifically and works specifically with women who have infertility issues. And in my case, we did not specifically know the cause of my infertility. It could have been the hypothyroidism. I mean, it's a lot of factors that goes into it. So my husband and I, we were really excited to be going to see a fertility specialist. On the other hand, it was kind of like a little dagger in my heart, because it's like, when you get to that point, it's like what is wrong with me? That's what I was thinking anyway. And it's just like, I want to be able to conceive my child naturally. I want my child just to be conceived naturally, made with love, and honestly, I was like, for the free. Everybody out here, everybody get to have their babies for free. But at the same time, it was just like my heart was so heavy and my desire was so strong for that child that I knew that I wanted. I was like, I'm ready. I was like, we about to clean out the savings for this child because that's how bad and that's how strong. Like I already love my child. I like I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. But it was difficult. So at that point, we decided to take a little break before we had the infertility appointment because it was a couple of months out. So we was just like, you know what? Let's take a break. Like we was getting ready to go on vacation. My birthday was coming up. So we was just like, let's take a break. Like I just took a whole break. Like I took a break from the diet because I was dieting heavy. I was working out heavy. Like I was no drinking, no alcohol, no wine. I had cut out a lot of sugar and just a lot of stuff from my diet. And I was just like, you know what? Let's take a break. Like mentally, I needed a break. Like cuz in my mind, it has just gotten to the point where it was just like too much. Emotionally, it gotten to the point where it was just too much. Like I would just have these periods of where I was just always breaking down crying. Anytime my cycle came, like it was a whole like breakdown. And my husband, he was so supportive during the entire process. Like he was definitely my rock because he was always there to hold me and tell me like it's gonna be okay. He was always there to encourage me to stay strong, to be strong, and to have faith and to know that God will provide. He always told me that, like month after month. He would always, you know, kind of encourage me and lift me up. So I was so lucky to have a husband who was so supportive and so understanding. On the other hand, though, as a woman, it was hard because I was just in a position where, like, infertility, like, honestly, it was really new to me. I had no idea, like, that a lot of women was going through the same thing that I was going through. I had never like talked about it with anybody like in my family. Nobody ever talked about like infertility or not being able to get pregnant or anything like that. So it was so new for me, and it was like I was seeking support because I just wanted to be able to talk to somebody who understood what I was going through or who could relate like to the feelings and the emotions that I had, because just talking to people, they would just be like, oh, girl, it's gonna happen. Oh, girl, just be patient. Girl, enjoy your husband traveling. It was just like nobody understood the process. Nobody understood like the toll that it was really taking on me. So I really internalized a lot of that journey. And like this is honestly my first time even just really speaking out about it. Like even to this point, a lot of people, even including my own family, don't even know the journey that it took for us to be like where we are today. So I think it's important just to have somebody in your corner and have somebody that can support you on this journey, because it can weigh very heavy on you. It can, and it did for me. And so I was just so grateful to have my husband who was there to support me. Also, my sister who was there to talk me off the ledge sometimes when I just felt like I was just about to bust and scream like to the top of my lungs because I could not take it. So anyway, so we decided to take this break. We was getting ready to go on vacation. We was headed to Florida. We was just out living our best life. Like I was like, we done. I'm not thinking about it. No OPKs, no pregnancy tests, no tests, nothing. Like literally did nothing. And it just got to the point where us, doing the baby dance, we was just enjoying it. It wasn't like, no, oh my God, I'm ovulating. Come on, we got to do it. Or like, oh, this is my fertile window this week. So making sure, and because that kind of stress and pressure, like that takes the fun out of it. Like everybody like, oh, having a baby, that's the practice part. You get to do all that. And it's like, when you hit that point where you're like infertility, like it makes it a little more hard. Like it put a little pressure on it. So us taking a break, it definitely took the pressure off of like that. It took the pressure like off our relationship. So we just relaxed, let our hair down before we were heading to see the fertility specialist. Let me tell you, one day I was at work and I got sick at work, and I thought to myself, I have not had my period. And I think I was like 5 days late at this point. So I left work, I went home, I got some rest. That morning, like this is after us vacationing, after the birthday, I'm getting back into my normal routine of like, working out and all of this stuff. And I was up getting ready to go to the gym, and someone was just like, take a pregnancy test. I'm just like, okay. Like at this point I done took a million. Okay, so at this point I'm just like, okay, I'm about to take this pregnancy test. I was like, I'm sure it's gonna be negative, but I'll take it just to clear my mind, because I think I was like going out that night. So I was like, I'll just take it, go clear my mind, just so if I decide to have a drink or two later on, it won't affect anything. So I take the pregnancy test. I leave it honestly sitting there on the counter for like the 5 minutes or whatever the instructions say. And I get ready to go to the gym. And I was like getting ready to walk out the door and leave the house. And I was like, oh, I forgot. Let me go see. I honestly was like, let me go look at this negative and go on trash and go about my day. I go and it was positive. I cannot even tell you. I can't even explain to you the type of emotion that came over me to see a positive pregnancy test. It was almost like if you've on this journey, you know what it's like to be taking all those tests and like looking at it like, is it a lie? Do I see, holding up to the light? Do I see a line? But it was a line, like, and it was a bold red line, and it was just like, my eyes are not playing tricks on me. And the emotion, I just got so overwhelmed with like a whole lot of different emotions. And I can just remember like taking a moment, I was crying, like just tears of joy, and tears of just like, oh my God, like in shock, really. And I just remember stopping and just being so thankful and grateful. I just started praising God. Honestly, I just started saying, thank you, Lord, like just thanking him for everything. Because throughout my infertility journey, it definitely had a huge effect on my faith and on my relationship with God. And I was just like, why? I didn't understand why I had to go through what I went through. And on that day, like I was just so grateful to him. I was just so thankful to him. Like I just had to lay it all down and let him know, like, Lord, forgive me. But you have to trust and you got to have faith in God. And he came through. He always do. And to say the least, it was right on time. It was perfect timing when we conceived. It was because we had bought a house. We had gotten raises and promotion. It was just like, it was the perfect time. And it was just like, all these years, we was on that journey for 3 years in total. Like all these years I've been crying and stressing, and it was like, this is the perfect time. So we ended up conceiving, and this was literally only but days before our appointment with our fertility specialist that we got that positive pregnancy test. And I was just like, Lord, they always say like how God has a sense of humor. I was like, Lord, you are something else. I just remember thinking that. But we did conceive, and we were so excited. We were just so excited to find it out. And not only did we conceive, like one of my prayers had been like all that year was that on my birthday, which had just recently passed when I saw my positive test, was that like I either be pregnant or have my child. And I got my gift. I actually conceived, like she was conceived during the month of my birthday. I didn't know my birthday at the time that I was actually pregnant. I didn't find it out until a couple of weeks later when I tested, but God, he's so funny. He's funny like that. But yeah, so I just want to jump on here and share my journey. If you're on a infertility journey, sis, stay strong, have faith, have hope. Make sure you just surround yourself with a good support system who can be there for you, somebody that you can talk to. I'm telling you, like, you gotta stay strong. That light is on. It be looking dim. I know it be looking dark even sometimes, but it's there. The light is at the end of the tunnel. So stay strong, sis, on your journey. So yeah, that's my infertility journey. I just wanted to come on here and share. I hope that definitely helped somebody. I hope that this has inspired somebody who is on their journey to know, like, this is not the end all be all. Don't give up. Like, your baby is coming. Your baby is coming. I'm telling you, you got to stay strong. You got to stay in there. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I definitely have more videos coming around fertility, infertility, trying to conceive, more in-depth details on my journey into conceiving my daughter. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe, comment down below if you're on a journey. Are you on an infertility journey? Let me know. Like, I definitely want to be here to support you because I know how that feels. So yeah, comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.